where is the priority going to lie here for DRX? As Aphelios is going to be picked up. So Deft, for the first time this series, is going to be on the Aphelios, and the first time this series is going to be on an AD carry.
Oh. Soraka being hovered. Not sure if that means anything, but now Trundle also being hovered.
Oh.
Nope, gonna be the Callista. And
Callista
Trundle.
Okay. So does Pyoshik now just play Kindred?
That could be on the agenda.
Has always done well into the Trundle, is why I bring it up. He could just also hop back to the Sejuani again. I know it's a bit of a counter matchup into the Trundle, but still something that a lot of our LCK players decide to do anyway. But instead, looks at the Gragas, is going to lock that one away. Now Chovy, let's see what he's going to... Chovy Yasuo, let's go.
Well, Gragas and, okay, LeBlanc now being hovered, might get locked in. 10 seconds remaining. And I would be very curious to see what T1's response would maybe end up being to it. Kassadin is obviously really good, given that it's AP jungle, AP mid, and not a whole lot of CC on the side of DragonX yet.
And they have T1 are now in a tricky scenario, right? Do they get the best counter pick for LeBlanc, which is likely the Kassadin or something like that? Or do they take away another priority pick like the Taric, potentially? As Faker currently hovering the Ornn for Canna, and they are going to lock that one away. So now, where are the bans going to go? Likely the DRX takes away the Callista Taric option from T1. But where they go without it is going to be a big question. As Gangplank to be removed, as they're just trying to protect Canna and T1's ability to just turtle this game to oblivion. There's the Kassadin ban as we're expecting out of DRX, and look to see another potential LeBlanc counter to be taken off the board as well. It might just be something, I don't know, Akali probably not going to be a great option into the LeBlanc, but might be something that Faker would like to do, and certainly has been something he's performing on so far in this series.
Eggs into the Aphelios basket, and they're going to try to Lucian. And if Ornn stabilizes once in this matchup, the lane just ends.
Yeah. And it's also DRX, like, just agreeing to sin off the back of that one pick. There is absolutely no other way to state it. This Lucian is designed to win this game as early as possible.
Not going to be the Morgana. It's actually just going to be the Braum getting picked up. So T1 are going to pilot a bot lane composition that, even when Callista wasn't really meta, historically they would use this and just try to take over the game. And so Corki versus LeBlanc, that's a matchup that is pretty okay for T1. Ornn versus Lucian, all it takes is one mistake out of Doran and the lane is going to be unsalvageable. DRX back to full center. There's no Ziggs to bail them out this time. The Aphelios is going to have a hard time in the later stages against the Corki and the Ornn. And the Braum even has some effectiveness against DRX's team composition. This is very dangerous. And I feel like this game's going to be decided in the first 13 minutes, Alice.
Yeah, I believe you. I think that if DRX had have had something like a Thresh for carrier, then maybe Deft has an ability to hard carry with the added repositioning that he'll have available to himself, but instead carrier decides to go full red. And that's exactly what this composition's looking like at this point.
Well, Lucian, Gragas, LeBlanc, Aphelios, Nautilus versus Ornn, Trundle, Corki, Callista, Braum. It's really hard for a lot of these lanes on DragonX. It's all going to come down to individual prowess and trying to get advantages and convert that into something meaningful. Dragons are very important for this team composition. All that T1 has to do is live.
Yeah.
That's a pretty damn easy thing to do.
Should be, and certainly has been for T1 in games past. So here we are onto the rift for game number 4. It is do or die for DragonX. Are they going to bring us some silver scrapes and to a game number 5? That would be amazing, because that would mean that our playoffs have gone to the maximum amount of games the entire way through. Or can T1 show us just how powerful they are once they have been beaten down once because this is a squad that is very, very good at bouncing back, especially with Coach Kim at the helm, our coach of the season for 2020 spring, as voted by quite a few people in the LCK. So, DRX, let's see what they can do. Doran, our eyes are going to be on him. He has been feast or famine so far this series. And if he's feasting, it's likely that DRX will be able to play around it and win. I want to go down towards the bottom side, though, LS, because Aphelios Nautilus versus Kalista Braum is just a regular laning phase with 80 carries. And it's the first time we've seen it so far this series between Deft and Teddy. And so far, Deft has been very consistent. And I'm looking forward to seeing whether he can continue to do so up against Teddy in a very standard matchup.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we'll have to see what does end up happening down there in bot lane as Kana is just spamming all of his emotes currently. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty standard start here as Cuz is going to start on blue with the leash from his bot lane. And you can see Gragas just getting a leash from Deft on the Aphelios as Keria stands watch. So Cuz immediately moving into the Gromp after the blue. And Trundle, we'll see what he ends up doing here. As Faker versus Chovy, this is a matchup that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. LeBlanc has a lot of pressure to get ahead in this game, and if she doesn't manage to achieve it, it's a big win for T1. As Ward comes out actually really early, you can even see the ping on it.
Yeah, it was actually in vision of the T1 Ward that was already there, I believe, put down by Faker. As having a look in here on the bottom side, Deft trying to answer back to some of the pressure that's already been put down. Able to get a couple of autos there as effort right in amongst this lane. And T1 should get that level 2 first. They did so. And now able to get that shove as Deft is down relatively low. Chovy also trading already with Faker here. And he's 1-0 so far on this Corki. 6-1 for Cuz's Trundle. Pretty powerful. And I remember back when Canna was like 5-0 on the Ornn. In recent games, he has not been finding as much success. So we'll see exactly how it is going to continue as Chovy has gone with the IG skin on his LeBlanc, just trying to troll T1 just a little bit.
And we can just pay attention to the minimap, all of the jungle stuff going on right now. Trundle just going for a full clear. And is beating Gragas to the punch, and then he'll move over to the left-hand side most likely. As you can see the Lucian, he's trying to push in the Ornn. And Ornn is just sitting happy with the way that this lane currently does stand. Doran gonna get a little bit more poke, but this isn't the end of the world.
Oh no.
He's really healthy. Gonna probably go for the Q max up here in top lane as, okay, Kana just doing a fantastic job at CSing.
Passing the test, absolutely.
Yep. See if he can locate the Bramble Vest as his first item. It would be a bit of a shame if I see a Bomby Cinder, as we got a trade happening here between Faker and Chovy. Chovy does get the better end of it.
Yeah, very strong. As far as the mana bar trade as well, also looking pretty good. As Distortion going to be available pretty soon, and looking a bit scary, but there are a lot of minions that Fake is now utilizing.
Yeah, and that one auto by Chovy drawing so much minion aggro cost him a lot of his HP. And
as Kuz comes on in, there's no Distortion flash has to be used. Perfect timing there from Kuz on the gank. And this may help Faker find himself a bit of a cheater recall, which he's going to do so right now. And that lane was looking really good for Chovy, and then instantly got turned on its head.
He was really doing a pretty good job in the laning phase. Faker does get a recall off with the tier. Recalling now on top of the minion wave that actually interrupts Chovy's recall. They both do have teleport.
Yeah, Chovy should be able to use his to get back. And should be fine farming out these minions underneath the turret. Cuz now behind enemy lines as he pops on in. We'll find Pyosik here, but the barrel is going to secure most of them as Chovy underneath his turret. Down very, very low on mana, but Faker's just going to try and clear this minion wave as fast as possible. As we look bottom side, Teddy is ahead in farm by just a little bit, but I believe a minion wave is pushing forward. As Kuz is going to start off on this Mountain Drake. Teleport back to the mid lane there as Pyosik is going to find this ward. Whether he's going to find the dragon is going to be the next question, as Kuz is just going to unleash it and let it go back to sleep as Faker just waiting in the wings. Gets that shove, puts on the pressure. And DRX have been farming very well so far. So they're going to have a slight gold advantage, but it's, again, one of those games where you look at any gold leads, and actually, it's just good no matter what happens for T1. I mean, there needs to be very large advantages for DRX before we start saying that they do have control of this game.
Yeah. And Mountain Dragon being the first one of the game, it is going to be super important as, okay, Bommies was picked up by Kana up in top lane. The reason I want to talk about that is because people do this all the time. The Bommies doesn't have usage against the Lucian. Okay, hold on.
Oh no, Gershik, yeah, he's going to get stunned up. Faker goes on over. Carrier is here, but there's first blood. Faker getting taken down very, very low, but there's the flash forward from Effort. Does manage to land the stun, and now Chovy should be falling as well. Yep, passive not going to be good enough, and Effort picks up the kill.
Effort gets the kill onto Chovy, and that's quite nice. He can try to use that to accelerate into his tier 2 boot, so it's not the end of the world, but things are falling apart for DRX this early on. They have a team composition that needed to get ahead, has to accrue advantages in the first 15 minutes of the game, and this is the danger of picking a team composition. And some people, they'll turn off their brains and they'll think, well, it should be easy with their champions. No, it shouldn't, because the enemy team is also 5 professional players that is aware of what you need to do, and they can take some losses, whether it be inside of jungle camps or skipping some CS, in order to not fall down super, super far. And so if they end up doing that, it's always going to be a T1 victory. But now T1 getting the kills early on, stifling DRX, it's basically double. It's amplified how much of the problem for DRX currently does exist in this game. You can see Pioshek, and you wonder what he's looking for, because mid lane state not gankable, Scuttle Crab not coming up anytime soon, and this was just a normal reset rotation by T1. Effort and Cuz there. Chovy not having the flash. He just gets clapped immediately and brought down.
Yep, no option to get out of there. And really good follow-up from T1. So first blood and an extra kill is the cherry on top. He is very, very nice here for T1. You can see Deft able to claw back that minion disadvantage that he had by just a little bit here on the bottom side. As Can is absolutely fine top side of the map, actually winning out now on some of these trades and only down 18 CS. That is absolutely fine, well and truly tolerable for the Ornn. And we're expecting something like a clapback. This is just T1 saying, no, we are fundamentally just better than you guys. Don't worry about it. As yeah, that is a flash into it as he dives the turret, and that is a very dead Lucian.
And that is not what you want to be have happen in this lane, as Kana is solo killing Doran all night long.
Yeah, this is just, the top gap is insane right now. That should not have happened in any universe.
Yeah. And it feels pretty comfortable right now if you are Teddy or Faker, that you're getting so much relief from the top side. And again, it's not something that probably anyone accounted for coming into the series. So yeah. Right here, Chovy, I mean, he's trying to do everything that he can to keep the wave on his side of the map. Effort rotates, knowing that Faker's going to need some help. Here's Cuz as well.
Yeah, in position, actually biding his time there as the barrel does get back. Effort a little bit late on the Unbreakable, but Chovy is extraordinarily low, making his way out to the north is now Cuz. Looking pretty immovable on this Trundle right now, and Chovy just going to try and clear out this minion wave and this ward on his way back forward. Deft coming there to save the rest of his team, and he's going to have to do exactly that this game. I don't know where their avenue of advantage is going to be.
With the Mountain Drake picked up for them as well, for that Trundle, that Braum, and the Ornn. And remember, Corki, he'll get magic resistance later on in the game, as will Teddy. So even though it's only one Dragon, that'll end up coming in to play a part in the later stages, as Kana is looking for blood yet again.
And this is without a Bramble Vest, which should make things even worse for the Lucian. He's instead just building straight towards his Sunfire Cape as quickly as possible so that he can retain lane control. There's a ward right here. Pioshik is going to move in, but Faker has the package. That should confirm that T1 should be able to lock down Shelly. And now Pioshik is trying to avoid this, but package going to be delivered. That is not what he ordered. Absolutely not. As Chovy now going to get slowed. Effort turning up, but Kerry is going to find him in that exact moment. And Shelly's going to be taken. It is now on track for a perfect game for T1.
And things are really good right now for them here in this game. They almost have a 2,000 gold advantage accrued. Everything is really stable in all the lanes. This Lucian is out of this game as well. So the Sinner champion up in top lane really far behind, but now he's going to act as an anchor for this DRX team composition because he's just dragging them down as they're going to move into the mid stage.
얘 이제 아래쪽도 올 수 있다 진성이 형.
한번 뭐
아래 한번 받을게 이거 그냥 받아 먹을게 이번에. 좀 위험할 수 있어.
이까라도 그럼.
나이스.
나이스.
좋아.
상대 그라 노플이야 그라
Nice,
노플.
good job.
소르텔인가?
Caught shopping there a little bit as we have a look at Faker's package delivery.
Yep. Bumps
If he was a delivery man, he would
into
absolutely
the
be
Gragas.
fired.
Yeah.
Okay, now Cuz going to turn up. Shelly going to be here, but Chovy standing, lying in wait. They want to try and get this dive. As Ward goes over the wall, Chovy jumps on forward, and he pops back to his distortion. Canna's flash now on cooldown, stopping the back and getting a flash. Definitely worthwhile there for DRX.
Yep. And now it's going to be Cuz that's going to be left to pick up the CS in top lane. And it's a 2-level advantage right now in the jungle. And that sticks in Season 10. With the way that jungle XP has been changed, there was some changes to the jungle that have happened in some of the recent patches, but this is definitely going to be brutal. Cuz is way into level 8, I believe, as Pioshik did just ding, finally, the level 7. Let's take a look at this one more time. So Doran manages to move out of the way of the pillar and the searing charge as another really big trade. Doran utilizing all of his mana pool to try to make this happen. Cuz made his way up, but here was Chovy and friends. And remember, Chovy to do this, he gave up the entire mid-minion wave. So that is something that just went into the void in terms of gold and EXP. And T1, they're going to get this Ocean Dragon, and then ideally they would like to roll an Infernal, but they're not even probably opposed to Cloud.
Yeah, they don't really care. Honestly, the Dragons feel pretty much inconsequential, but that is the Infernal Drake. Would be a door to open up again for DRX. If they're able to stack these to 4, then it will be gigantic amounts of burst damage and will keep Chovy relevant as this game goes on. But that feels a little bit like a tall order at this stage.
And, well, Kana just going even up there in top lane. Blade of the Ruin King still not even complete yet for the Lucian. That is going to be a bit of a problem. Looks like Hex Drinker going to be picked up on Faker as we're moving into the mid-game transition. And remember, in Champ Select, we said this game's going to be decided in the first 13, 14, 15 minutes of the game. And
Yeah.
T1, it's not just a 2,000 or 1,500 gold lead. It's the Mountain Drake 2, which is giving a little bit of resistances, and it's the fact that their team comp scales so much better. We are only a couple of minutes away from ornaments start coming in as well, and that is a lot of unseen gold and stats that are going to be on the side of T1 as Kana fails to get that last turret plate, but it doesn't really matter. This is just destruction on the map, and it's almost poetic that this might be the way that DRX fall here in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Faker going to pick up all of these plates here as well, just a few seconds before the turret plates go down. Chovy unable to pop the eye, but does so in the end, but still, damage has been done. There's the culling once again as Canna just soaks it. He's absolutely fine up there, has his catalyst now completed, building towards his Abyssal Mask. No Frozen Fists this time around. I like it a lot, as Pioshik is going to look to try and counter jungle just a little bit, but he's still so... Oh, no, he's not. He's not actually super far behind when it comes to farm, but 1, 0, and 2 for the Trundle is helping him control that CS advantage, and even the big chicken not being taken there by the Gragas. But at least those levels have been made up by Pioshik.
And, well, Faker is going to shove in the minion wave. He does have the Hex Drinker picked up. He might be able to just get this solo turret gold. And
Yeah,
that's a nice
huge.
pickup for him. Yep. Kana up here in top lane, level 11.3 or so, maybe, on this Ornn, as Doran's still stuck at level 10, now getting zoned again.
Yep. Using the package, actually, to try and get out of the way as teleport comes in from Chovy. And T1 will just move back towards this top lane and take down this turret.
Yep. Chovy not able to really do a whole bunch. He doesn't have any damage. He only has a Lost Chapter and a Blasting Wand, so they can just ignore him and basically say, who cares, as that's the second turret of the game, and things are looking pretty hopeless. Teddy probably feeling really good down there in bot lane.
Yeah, he knows that he doesn't actually have to do anything this game.
Yeah. Not a whole lot going on down in bot, and just spells disaster for Deft. because he's going to be essentially neutralized. Win rate with gold at 15, 82.1% for
pretty
T1.
good.
It's all right, you know. I mean,
I want to know what the win rate for DRX without a gold lead of 15 minutes is, because I'm pretty sure that would be pretty abysmally low as well, which would also tell a story. So we have a look at the gold. Faker is ahead by 1,500. There is a 600 gold lead for the Ornn against the Lucian counter matchup. And Teddy was sitting on 2,000 gold before he went back to base as well.
I want to give you an interesting stat here, Atlas.
Give it to me.
T1 have also won 100% of the games where they've killed the enemy's nexus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You are just full of those hard-hitting stats. It's extraordinary. Yeah.
Thought I'd fill you in on that one.
No, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. That's really actually changed my whole outlook on this matchup, as Cuz is going to get chained. He takes the second one as well. Fair bit of extra damage, but not really anything consequential, especially considering the fact that Shirley's going to be taken down, and that King's Tribute should be able to give Cuz his entire health bar back again.
Yeah,
DRX just scrambling for something to do.
30 seconds until the Infernal Dragon's going to come up. T1's even going to get the second Rift Herald. And I don't know what DRX is even supposed to do. They don't even have their first core item on LeBlanc yet. Doran might just die here again.
Yep. He's just going to get taken down before he can do anything. Effort not even going to die in the interim after tanking up the turret. Shirley goes down, looking to get her first charge. Might even be denied, yeah. Not actually going to utilize it on that particular turret. Is Effort's going to get lit on fire? No. He's just going to walk out. Chovy doesn't have Ignite, of course. So Shirley going to get her charge onto the inhibitor turret. Carrier going down very low. Decent exhaust there as Cuz still able to help grab that turret as Carrier goes gold and had a lot of sticks in him. As you can see, Def now trying his very best to do some relevant damage, but the Moonlight Vigil not going to be enough. And T1 take down their first inhibitor turret at 17.5 minutes.
One of the scary things about this, though, is that a lot of them have no HP and mana, and Doran teleporting in. DRX are now in a position where they could actually maybe get this Infernal Dragon, and that would be a really big pickup for them here in this game. It looks like T1, yeah, they overextended a little bit too much, and now this is just going to be, I believe, a free dragon given over to DRX. Now, Chovy's not here, but they're not going to contest it, and so a bit unfortunate that they give that away. That is a breath of fresh air, though, for DRX fans.
I don't know whether stalling is necessarily going to work out here for DRX, though, as the Fate Scroll comes in with the ultimate, with everything. And Doran not going to be able to survive this one. Effort tanking up the turret very nicely, and Effort using the Unbreakable to make sure that the Lucian damage was negligible. You can see Deft, though, he's still pretty strong, building towards his first Zeal item. Does have his Berserker Greaves and his Infinity Edge already done, and he's ahead in farm by just a few. So he might be someone that DRX can lean on. But Doran certainly isn't, despite the fact that he does have a CS advantage. The 2-0-1 sitting on the Ornn, the fact that he's about to tick towards level 13 to get all of those extra stats for himself, and will then be able to deliver so many stats over to the rest of T1. Might of the Ruin King, the Trinity Fusion as well, and so much more for T1.
It's really, really close to that level 13. It looks like DRX is thinking about making their way downriver, and honestly, I don't know how Kana doesn't...
Okay, well...
Oh, a bit of a Owen Wilson here.
Exactly, he's certainly behind enemy lines, but he's going to throw down the Ornn Horn anyway, as he gets the knock-up onto Deft, but Sentry Turret comes in. There are a lot of Chakrams, and Deft has delivered the kill for free. Going to pick up a bunch of extra money there, so... This is the win condition for DRX. We have to remember that Deft is 100% of their late game. But whether he's going to be able to actually do anything is going to be the big question, as Faker's Gatling Gun is enough to scare Chovy away. And Effort and Cuz just going to make sure that their captain is not going to be doing anything too silly. As Carrier comes on in, and that is the wave cleared. The DRX still certainly on the back foot.
Yeah, DRX are still very far behind right now. Kana just waiting to ding that level 13. He'll get the Infernal Mask as well as the Forge Fire Cape. And you take a look at the minimap, and everything is dark from DRX's point of view. So everyone just walks down into the bot lane and kills him. This was really just something straight out of solo queue. One of the freest kills that I think we've seen in the LCK.
Yeah.
So Kana does end up dying there. At the end of it, T1 are still ahead, 3,500 gold.
And it's 4 turrets to 0 as well. I mean, there just no map control at all for DRX. So how they're supposed to get towards a second Infernal Drake is just beyond me. The fact that they were able to steal away the first one is actually huge news for them. Because by all intents and purposes, there was no way that they should have been allowed to slap onto their position from T1 with that overdrive, but still not a team is then going to flip with the numbers coming in. So, I don't believe that Kana's going to be able to ding 14 prior to that team fight, but interesting to know that Effort does have an ornament item. Typically supports, the melee supports don't end up building it at any point, but this will be the circlet of the Iron Solari that can be picked up by him. Yep, I like it a lot. Making sure that they have as much opportunities for Kana to augment their team as possible. He's probably going to go for Might of the Ruin King and that Trinity Fusion first. But certainly, as these levels start piling in, he's going to get stronger and stronger. We'll see what Cuz is actually going to purchase, whether he's going to be a Savant, as we've seen in the past with an Infernal Mask purchase. Try and boost up the Faker damage. And speaking of Faker, he heads towards topside, looks to clear out this minion wave, and he might be thinking about a back timing or something like that. I'm not sure when the next package is available, but if that comes in, that should be very, very useful for making sure that this Infernal Drake is going to belong to T1. Right now, Kana is taking a hell of a lot of damage, actually. This could be pivotal for making sure that DRX have the best opportunity possible. Pyoshik throws over a barrel as they do get vision, and that back is just going to be stopped as Doran throws in the Ardent Blaze. Kana walking across vision. And Deft going to get snared up. Goshik has to get out of here as, oh my god, Chovy into the backline. Faker diving on over with the Valkyrie as there's the dredge line. Goes golden, but into the backline is Kana. Flash out from Deft to make sure that he stays alive as Kana taking all this auto attack damage. The onslaught there from Deft, but he gets exhausted and will be taken down by Teddy. Doran now trying to kite this one out as Pyoshik is on top of Faker, but he Valkyries again. Gets himself out of the way. T1 will get themselves to Soul Point and win themselves a team fight, but Pyoshik able to be a hero on the backline, and Chovy as well takes down Teddy. Cuz should be able to answer this one, but there are distortions. There's a lot of funny business that Chovy can throw out, as now should be able to dart his way around this map and teleport himself to safety. So the trade is going to be even, but the Infernal Drake went to T1.
Yeah, and you can see that T1, they're still looking for Chovy, but he's already managed to get out of there via the teleport. So they win the team fight, or they end up going even in it for the most part. Take a look at Chovy, lands a two-man distortion and takes Teddy out of the fight almost immediately, goes back in. But the bit of smoke and mirrors just barely manages to dodge the Ornament ultimate. On the right-hand side, Kana blocking up Doran as well. Deft ends up getting exhausted and pillared as well, brought down almost immediately as Doran not able to find the kill onto Faker. Not really that much synergy with Pyoshik as they attempt to bring him down, but Pyoshik goes back in with the flash body slam, and Teddy, not really long for this world, ended up even blowing his flash, as Chovy was able to bring him down as the last man standing.
That could have been so much worse for DRX, though. The fact that they're able to get those follow-up kills certainly does help their chances as this game goes on. You've mentioned it before. I mean, the scaling advantage is just too huge, and DRX are going to have to make some absolute hero plays if they're going to get their way back into this game. 3.5 minutes on Infernal Soul potential for T1, and right now they're just controlling vision around this Baron. It's looking real dicey here for DRX.
Yeah, this is looking very scary if you are a DRX fan, because T1 now matching in the Infernal Soul point even in 3 minutes.
Full dredge line barely gets carried out. He has to flash as Fate Skull gets effort in on top of Depth, but he's unstoppable for the moment and is eventually taken down. That's going to be the double kill for Faker. Now Doran in trouble as Teddy hops over the wall. Triple kill for the man in the mid lane for T1 as Doran has been spotted. Faker is chasing him. He wants that Quadra as there is the Blade of the Ruin King, but it's not going to be enough. Canna steals away the Quadra kill. Faker is tilted, but he might still just win the series.
It looks like they're putting their attention on the mid inhibitor. And they're going to end up getting that before quickly moving over to the Baron afterwards. And Chovy doesn't really have that much to do inside of this game. Look at the magic resistance coming out on the side of T1, and things are only going to get worse for him in the remainder of this game. As take a look at this, the Kalista ultimate doesn't end up colliding with Depth. It doesn't matter. The pillar comes out. Synergy with the Orn, knocking up Depth, who stands tall but only to be knocked down. Duran getting over the Raptor pit wall, but brought down in the end. Anyway, T1, meanwhile, in live, do capture the Baron, and I think that's it, Atlas. I think T1 are going to go on Saturday to meet Gen G in the spring finals.
And they also look very scary on their way over there as well. So Gen G, hopefully, they are of course watching, but hopefully they're studying the best way to take down T1. And I think it has a lot to do with trying to scale against them, because T1 just don't make the mistakes that these mono red compositions require you to make. It's just not a way that you can beat this team. As they will be able to take down Rift Scuttler here. Infernal Drake is going to be available in 1 minute and 15. And that will be lights out if it isn't already.
Yep. 1 minute until it does end up spawning. And I don't know what DRX is supposed to do, really, at this point, because there's so many resistances. It's not even like they can make a pick off either, because there's so many ways for T1's champions to either be durable enough to live until help arrives, or to just get out of a sticky situation. And I hope that Chovy, he opens that book and he reads what's inside.
Yeah.
As I don't think there's good news inside of it. 45 seconds until Infernal Soul comes up. Baron push. Running down mid. Kana finds Chovy, gets the distortion out.
Yeah, it's going to be the chains that do land, get a little bit of CC, but there's the cast. Doesn't really do too much, but Faker is out of position. Depth charge is going to land. Fate Skull comes in, though, and Depth once again going to be the target. Taken down immediately as Chovy off to the side, not able to find the chains, and Carrier is going to get burned down. And now Teddy, hopping mad in the back line, looking for more. Gets himself the lifeline passive, nails the Quadra kill, and Chovy's going to be here standing underneath his turret with his little crab emote saying, Teddy, bring it. If you want to get that pentakill, you're going to need to come and take me down. But Teddy's not interested in that. This guy just wants to get himself to the finals on Saturday, and they are going to be able to do so. Faker is looking for Chovy for that 1v1, but it's just not going to matter. Nexus to be taken down. DRX fought back in game number 3, but in the end, it was all T1. And they are going to meet Gen G in that final for the 2017 World